What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very, very interesting news as two-time Olympic gold medalist, three-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, Ukrainian superstar boxer, Vasily Lomachenko, he feels very, very frustrated because Lomachenko, who is seeking to become a world champion for the second time at lightweight. 16 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 11 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, stands at 5'7" with a 65-inch arm reach. He's coming off of a dominant performance over former IBF lightweight world champion Richard Comey that took place December 11th of this year at Madison Square Garden in New York, New York. With that said, Vasily Lomachenko is seeking to become two-time lightweight world champion, okay? And he wants to face off against Australian star boxer who's newly crowned unified lightweight world champion star boxer in George Kambosos Jr. That's who Lomachenko wants to fight next, okay? And George Kambosos Jr., according to reports, he and his team are leaning towards defending his titles and looking to go in a massive undisputed showdown in his next fight. George Kambosos, 20 wins, no losses, no draws, 10 wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 68.5-inch arm reach, okay? George Kambosos Jr., he shocked the world, shockingly, when he defeated former unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez, November 27th, Madison Square Garden, New York, New York, via split decision, okay, to become the newly crowned world champion. So with that said, it seems like George Kambosos and his team are leaning towards going into a fight with undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney, who's also coming off of a dominant performance over former IBF super featherweight Mexican superstar boxer Joseph Jojo Diaz that took place a week later after George Kambosos Jr. shocked the world December 4th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, and he won the unanimous decision. With that said, we know George Kambosos, Devin Haney, they came face to face. George Kambosos Jr., he stated that he wanted his next fight to be in Australia. He feels like he worked hard to have the fight in front of his home fans and back home. He wants the home cooking. And Devin Haney, he told George Kambosos Jr. not only will he oblige him, but he'll fight him on Jupiter if he absolutely had to. So with that said, now it looks like that's the fight that's going to take place, and it looks like they're targeting April for the undisputed showdown officially at lightweight, and it's frustrated Vasily Lomachenko and Vasily Lomachenko's team as they're stating that George Kambosos Jr., get this, is picking the weak link, and that's who he wants to fight, is the weak link. Now, we know that WBO, World Boxing Organization, is Vasily Lomachenko is the regular WBO lightweight champion or interim champion, or however it may be, and they're looking to have the WBO petition and mandate that George Kambosos Jr. fights Vasily Lomachenko in his next fight. But by the time they do that, it will give George Kambosos Jr. plenty of time to have another fight in between. As his manager and promoter Lou DiBella stated, that looks like the route that they wanted to go. Okay, so Lomachenko and his team are frustrated, and they're calling Devin Haney the weak link. He's going to go after the weaker link because he's witnessed the performance. He initially stated, that being George Kambosos Jr., that he was shopping his services and he wanted to see who was going to be the most entertaining fight for him moving forward, and that's the fight he was looking to take next. Okay, we know he was present at Devin Haney, Joseph Diaz fight. We know he was present at three-division undefeated world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis fight with Mexican star boxer Isaac Pitbull Cruz December 5th in Los Angeles, California at the Staples Center. So he stated that he wanted to face off against the best exciting fighter that he could go out against, because he wanted to be in fight of the year candidate type of fights. Okay, he didn't want to have to maneuver around the ring and chase around a boxer, alluding to Devin Haney and his style. Well, Devin Haney, he stood in the pocket against Joseph Jojo Diaz. He didn't move much at all. Okay, and Gervonta Tank Davis, he actually moved more than Devin Haney did in his fight with Isaac Cruz. Thus the reason why George Kambosos Jr., he stated that he thought that Isaac Cruz won the fight, and Isaac Cruz was the most exciting fighter. And then he stated that Devin Haney was the most exciting fighter of the weekend. Well, he wasn't present at Lomachenko's fight, but he stated that he would love a fight with Vasily Lomachenko because he likes his plans and he liked what he stood for, okay? But Lomachenko, how much exciting was he against Richard Coleman, who already had been previously knocked out, who had already had multiple losses on his resume. He actually was knocked out by the man George Kambosos Jr. beat and dropped in his fight, and that was Teofimo Lopez, okay? So we know that to be the case. So now, after the fight, Lou DiBella, who's also a promoter and promotes Richard Coleman, he stated that he was interested in making a fight with Lomachenko at one point in time, but his number one objective was to secure a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. Well, Gervonta Tank Davis broke his hand in the fight. We know Gervonta Tank Davis is not interested in fighting for the belts, as he stated that he don't want his belts. He'll just fight him, without the belts. Now, we know that they will have to do business with Floyd Mayweather Promotions. And so it looks like that's not the route that they're going to go. And so Lomachenko and his team are saying that the process of elimination came because Gervonta Tank Davis is not going to be allowed to fight George Kambosos Jr. and that another fighter he was looking at in undefeated rising Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia is negotiating with Isaac Pitbull Cruz. So he's not going to be available. Okay, so he says it's down to the two of us, which is Lomachenko and Devin Haney, and they're saying he's picking the weaker link. So this is an indication that we're possibly going to get George Kambosos Jr. versus Devin Haney. Well, it only makes sense. Now, one thing I have to address is the fact that they're saying that Devin Haney is the weak link. Well, Devin Haney was also Vasily Lomachenko's mandatory, and Vasily Lomachenko didn't honor that. Vasily Lomachenko decided to petition, or did he, the WBC, World Boxing Council President Mauricio Suleiman, to be franchised in the WBC because Devin Haney became his WBC mandatory challenger at lightweight. See, Devin Haney, he was on pace to fight Olympic gold medalist, British superstar title contender Luke Campbell for the vacant WBC title that was vacated by 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Mikey Garcia. And Luke Campbell was the fight Devin Haney was supposed to have. But then Bob Arum, legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter, he swooped in with Vasily Lomachenko. They petitioned the WBC in a unification bout, and the WBC, their eyes lit up, got wide open, and they said that they would love nothing better than to have Vasily Lomachenko. It would be an honor for him to fight for their belt. He never fought for the belt, never won the belt, never represented the WBC. So here was an opportunity. So the WBC obliged him, and then they made Devin Haney a mandatory. So Devin Haney had to take a step back, let Lomachenko fight Luke Campbell for the vacant belt. But once he beat Luke Campbell, he immediately petitioned, and the WBC, well, they obliged him again and gave him the franchise title, which Lomachenko is saying that he never petitioned for it. The WBC just immediately awarded him because of his status, okay? So he stated he never wanted to be franchised, and he never petitioned to be a franchise champion. That was all on the WBC, okay? So with that said, Lomachenko had Devin Haney as his mandatory, and he didn't take the opportunity. And then he stated that Devin Haney was too green, too young, and inexperienced to face off against him. But at the same token, he fought Luke Campbell in August, stated that he wanted to have another fight and stay active while he waited for Teofimo Lopez, Richard Coleman's fight that was scheduled to take place December 14th. And he fought in August. So he stated that he wanted to stay active. He wanted to stay busy. And everybody called for him to fight Devin Haney because a stay busy, active fight. Wouldn't that if Devin Haney was everything he stated he was, too inexperienced, too green, and too young, well, that represents a stay busy fight for you. You don't care what the outcome is of his career. Why do you care? If you derail his career, what is it to you? So why not fight him? He didn't take the opportunity. He actually stayed on the shelf and waited because you figure he fought in August. They wasn't fighting until December 14th. So that means it was 5 months that he would have been on the shelf. And then you have to factor in the winner of the fight is not going to be ready to fight him for another 3 to 4 months. So he's been on the shelf all this time. That's the reason why he stayed there. He wanted to stay active, but he chose not to when everybody kicked up the idea of fighting Devin Haney. So it's ironic that he would say Devin Haney is the weak link between himself and Devin Haney and fighting George Kambosos Jr. Now, it only makes sense for Devin Haney to fight George Kambosos Jr. because George Kambosos Jr. wants to be considered undisputed. He took to social media now. Initially, after the fight, he stated that he knew he had to fight Devin Haney to officially be undisputed. Well, now since President Mauricio Suleiman decided to take the opportunity to title him undisputed, he changed his title on all his social medias to undisputed. Now he's feeling like he's undisputed, and he also stated that he didn't need Devin Haney's belt to truly be defined as undisputed because he's already done that. Well, now it seems like they're going to go in that direction. He's going to make more money fighting Devin Haney than he will Lomachenko because Bob Arum, ESPN, and Top Rank, they never viewed him in high regards, and they're not going to be willing to put up big money for a fight between Lomachenko and George Kambosos Jr. Thus the reason why they would rather have the WBO petition and go to a purse bid and order the fight where they don't have to put up big money for the fight, period. So it looks like Devin Haney, George Kambosos Jr. is going to be next in April. Let's see how this unfolds. Vasily Lomachenko is upset of this decision. Let's see who he fights next. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather Vahid Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.